Hello, everybody, and welcome to Mindful Joy Online Summit Celebration of Peace and Joy. I am Virginia.
And I'm Rupesh.
And we are delighted to be here after the week of presentations, which you've been enjoying as a celebration of peace and joy, to finish with our event in a very special way, which is getting together, uniting us as hosts, the speakers, and you as the audience. So this is a wonderful opportunity, which we hope you will enjoy. We are celebrating here. And we are going to introduce the speakers one by one. They are going to give us a message each, and then you will have the opportunity to ask questions. And we will have 6 speakers at a time, and then yes, you will see the rest. You want to say something?
Yeah, it's been a 12-month journey to get here. And it's been a lot of hard work. But what I wanted to do was to thank, first of all the speakers for their wonderful contributions. And also to thank all of you for all of your support. Our message of peace and joy has spread to 62 countries around the world. And we are immensely amazed by this, but also very, very grateful. So thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. And as promised, here we go. We are going to start with Aruna Latva. Hello, Aruna, and most welcome.
Hello, Virginia, Rupesh.
Hello, Aruna.
Thank you for being with us. And we go with hello, John.
Hello, nice to be with you.
John McConnell, everybody. So welcome. And we go with what do we say? Gosha. Most welcome, Gosha.
Hello, Gosha.
Hello.
And Swami, no? Okay. Gary Craig. Most welcome, Gary.
Hi.
And we have and Swami Alyananda Paramahansa. Most welcome, Swami, and thank you for being here.
Hello.
So the question we would like to ask all of you is, what final message you would like to give all of us on awakening to inner peace and joy? And I would like to start with Aruna, if you would like to share your thoughts.
So thank you. Thank you for having us. Thank you for creating this. And I think every effort in bringing more peace into the world is most welcome. So thank you to both of you to take this initiative. So what I'd like to share as I guess my final message is that peace and joy are actually a natural part of our nature. And I'd like to share with you a story that my mother used to share with me, which is quite prominent in India, although I've never lived long enough in India. But the story goes like this, that there was a queen. And the queen, of course, was very vain, and she would always be concerned about how she looked. But anyway, one day she was looking for a necklace, a very beautiful necklace that she treasured. And basically, she set the whole kingdom upside down because she couldn't find the necklace. And all her maids, her subjects, even some of her friends, were quite afraid to tell her that, madam, it's actually around your neck. So as they kind of took her towards the mirror, because that was the only way they could get this message across to her, as they took her to the mirror, she realized herself that, oh my goodness, the necklace has been around me all the time. And this story epitomizes what we are going through now, and that is that we look for peace and joy out there when it's actually already a very natural part of our nature, and we seldom look inside. So, of course, I I prefer meditation. I do meditation. I would support meditation as a technique to go inside, to get in touch with that inner peace. And then as we get in touch with that well of peace inside of us, we start to then naturally overflow with it. And then it's so natural to send those ripples out without having to make any extra effort. And this is really my message, that peace and joy are a natural part of me, not just that it's a natural source, but it's a very natural giving for me, and that I shouldn't forget this. And as I keep being the embodiment of that, I'm able to touch other souls with that as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rina.
How beautiful. How beautiful, Aruna. Thank you. So, Swami, would you like to share your message?
Well, I think for me, on awakening to inner peace and joy was very much the journey when I went to find my master in India. I've traveled and looked for him for a long time, and then when I found him, I learned Kriya Yoga. Kriya Yoga is about the breath. And yes, it's a huge truth that supreme is that inner peace and joy. And we look for it everywhere. We travel, we think it's in a handbag, we think it's in all these toys of life. But when I went with my master and I sat with him and I learned this breathing, to breathe with my supreme self. I know we're always breathing with the supreme, but it's like the lady in the necklace. It's like realizing yourself, finding yourself, awakening to yourself, and that joy and that peace within you. And so Kriya Yoga was my bridge to myself. And the other day I was in my car with my husband, or his car, and we were driving through the nature of Cornwall. And we have lovely moorlands, beautiful, and by the sea. And just, I looked at that nature, and the vibration of that nature was the same vibration as me. And I was like, this incredible peace and joy was emerging with this nature, my true nature. And unfortunately, we get pulled out of this nature very easily. And today they've had fighting and riots in London. And I was in the kitchen and I thought, oh dear, I know it's all a play, but it seems very real to these people. And I was standing in my kitchen, and this profound energy sort of poured upon me. I thought I must go in my front room and sit in the chair that I'm here with you now. And this was palpable. The power of that peace was palpable. And I imagined standing in London, standing in those crowds, with this palpable peace descending in that place of London. And it's the power of the Supreme is beyond anything we can imagine. And it works. It works. In that I trust. In the spontaneity of my life is peace and joy. And that is beyond my mind. That directs my life. and that is joy and peace, the divine synchronicity in life. Isn't it marvelous to be here together like this today? You started this. My darling Rupesh came to Cornwall, 10 or 12 years ago? Dear Virginia and Rupesh were married, 4 years ago?
5.
5 years ago. Now here we are all together during this summit. Thus, peace and joy in action, in love. I think it's magnificent. The supreme and the intelligence of God is marvelous. And thank you for inviting me. And it's so lovely to see you all. And I did enjoy all your talks. They were fabulous. And I can't thank you enough, all of you, for all this wonderful time together. And when my mind is busy, I give it a mantra to try and keep that little monkey quiet, because that destroys your peace and joy. And we must control our minds. It is lovely to see you. It's really lovely. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Swami.
Thank you, my loves. Thank
I
you.
would like to add on what you just said, that when we get together, as you said, how wonderful to be together.
Isn't it?
When many of us get together with this intention of peace and joy, it's so much powerful than if we do
powerful.
It on our own.
It's the power that Gary was talking about.
Yeah.
When he does his work, the power of the third, or power of the presence.
Wonderful. Somebody's asking, Swami, to you, but you can answer later. Somebody's asking, can you tell us about Kriya Yoga? I mean, Swami talked a lot about this in her presentation, but we can come back to this in a minute. And he also asks, where in India? Is it in Pune?
No, I went to Nainital to find my master.
Yeah.
In the Himalayas.
So we'll come back to that, and we'll go with John. Over to you, John.
Thank you. What can I say in 2 minutes? Really, peace is the foundation of everything. Without peace, you can't have the happiness, you can't really have love. If we're in turmoil inside and we're full of frustration or anger and all those other negative feelings, then we're always going to be unhappy. So, as has already been said, really, we are by nature beings of peace and love and happiness. And really, the anger, if we experience any anger at all, it's a sign that we've gone off course, that we've gone away from our true nature. So it's a bit like putting your hand in a fire, you know, it burns, it hurts. And so our conscience always bites after we've been angry. We feel bad, we regret it. And so I would say, you know, peace gives us detachment. It enables us then to realize we've got choices. We can respond rather than react. And I like to sum it up in as a choice between going the sad way in any situation, in other words, getting stressed, angry, or depressed, or going the glad way. And the glad way is being giving, loving, accepting, and detached. And if we can practice that, and obviously there isn't time to go into the depth of it now, that will help us in any situation. And the mantra I would use, or affirmation I use quite often, if I am in a challenging situation, I just say very quietly to myself, I am a peaceful being. And actually that calms me down and enables me to deal with things much more effectively. So thank you very much for inviting me in the first place. I've enjoyed it, and it's lovely to meet everyone else.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John. Thank you, beautiful.
No.
So, Gosha, over to you.
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you. So yesterday I was listening to as many podcasts as I could, many speakers. And when I was making dinner, Eugenia, I was listening to the interview that I have done with you. And I have to say, I really loved what you said. And yet again, it really touched me deeply. But because I was listening now, instead of asking you questions, it went much deeper than before. And my message is actually to everybody is what Virginia said. Okay, so I want to repeat what Virginia said. If you want to find joy, you need to pause first. Pause. And secondly, be gentle with yourself. Be tender and gentle with yourself. And after I've done it, after I've listened to the interview with you, I went for a walk with my partner. We were walking through the forest, and he said to me, "Can we please be silent and not speak?" And I said, "But I haven't seen you for 2 weeks. Can we talk?" And he goes, "No, can we be silent? Because if we are silent, something nice will happen." And as we were walking up, a deer was standing in front of us, and he was looking at us. And he was not scared at all. And I was looking the deer straight in the eye, and I said, "What is your message to me?" And he said, "Be gentle with yourself and with others." So I was thinking twice the same day, and I felt so peaceful and so calm. So I felt like I had to share this with you because it was so powerful. So be gentle. If you want to be peaceful, be gentle, but be gentle with yourself as well. Because we tend to be very harsh. I mean, I do sometimes. And then just the last thing, just before I go, I would love you to test this as a tool for peacemaking for yourself. Every morning when you wake up, bless your day and say something along the lines of, "I bless this day with peace, with serenity, with joy, with harmony. May everything I do be filled with joy, and everybody who I meet or speak to be touched by peace and joy." And so when we do the blessing and we set the intention for the day, the emotional intention and the spiritual intention, then miracles happen. So that's my message for everybody. Thank you so much for organizing this summit.
Thank you, Gosha. Beautiful. Thank you. Wow. Wow. So powerful to have you all here sharing these insights and wisdom and knowledge. So now is the turn of our audience. So,
Gary.
Oh, sorry, Gary.
I'm not forgotten, Gary.
I'm feeling majorly rejected. Okay.
Optimally FT can solve this.
Well, no, you gave me un-EFTable guilt and rejection and all of that. Sure, you want me to talk?
Please.
I can do that. I can do that. I was listening to everybody with great gratitude, and I was remembering, the dramatic spiritual experience I had in 1988. I didn't even ask for it. It's just all of a sudden, whoof. And as I may have described it, it's like we're in this bubble where the world that we seem to think exists is there. Like the inner circumference of that bubble reflects back to us all the stuff going on in it and the stuff we don't like and all that kind of stuff. And in my experience, it's like somebody came along and took a pin and popped that bubble, and poof, this whole world that we've just now been talking about went away. And what showed up instantly was this, let's call it the mindful joy. I call it the oneness, but it was a dramatic thing. It was so different than this. And I being a scientist by background, I went to study quantum physics. And one of the interesting phrases that comes out of quantum physics is that, well, first of all, there's only a oneness. All the rest of it is an illusion. It's a mirage. Okay. But one of the phrases is, there is no out there. The world that we seem to see here is but an illusion. And I can tell you firsthand, because I've been out of the illusion, however briefly, And this world is an illusion, okay? It's filled with seemingly separate people with seemingly separate interests who have lost touch with the idea of oneness, and we're here to get this back. That's your message. That's our message. I'll leave it at that.
Thank you, Gary.
Very, very powerful. I think between all of us, all of you, it's very, very clear the message we would like to give. So thank you all. So now, yes, over to you, dear viewers. Please ask your questions, share your comments, experiences you've been watching the presentations over the week. If you would like to say something specific to the viewers here. Here we are. We have the first question from Veronica. Hello, I am Vero from Chile. Thanks for the opportunity. I have a very practical question. At the moment, I am working with stress management with healthcare staff. What exercises, tips, body movements
Yeah.
do you recommend to keep joy and peace while they are working?
Who would like to go first?
I'll go first.
Yes, please.
To me, I always like to look at the foundation. Where did this lack of joy and peace come from? Ultimately, at least from my view, it came from the fact that we think we are separate and we're trying to get through a world that really does not exist. But we can get out of it by going back to early times in our lives where we've bought into some abuse, some messages that we've gotten, you know, that there's something wrong with us, that we're bad or we're not lovable and we don't have joy and peace and so on. And when we go back to those, bring in the oneness, I call it the unseen therapist, but bring in the God presence to the core, the foundation of that within this dream, then that foundation starts to fade. And as it fades, the symptoms of I don't have joy and peace today have less and less and less of a foundation to bounce off of. So the more you collapse all those things in the beginning, the more joy and peace you have now.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow, Vero, you want to say something else?
Well,
Yeah.
does anyone else want to respond?
Yeah, I can. You know,
Okay.
I definitely would recommend when it comes to releasing trauma, and a lot of health professionals are traumatized at the moment. I would definitely recommend, from my perspective, what helps me quite dramatically is dancing, putting music that is extremely releasing and happy and peaceful and allowing the body to shake. So to dance and to shake. And along the lines of shaking, I think for trauma release, trauma release exercises, which are highly recommended also for releasing the trauma so that people can connect to joy. So dancing, shaking, breathing, meditating. I would say coming back to what the whole summit was about.
Thank you. And Aruna, I think you wanted to say something as well.
Yeah, I can add a point that because we work with the mind a lot through meditation, if we can try and change the perspective. So it's only a stress if I think it's a stress. Otherwise, I can turn it around. I can turn it into a game. I can turn it into play. I can turn it into fun. And this is what some of our students do. They also have very busy, challenging lives, but it's only one thought away to just put on that switch of today, I'm going to have a really happy day. That's it, simple. I'm going to have a very joyful, happy day. And not to think, of course, I'm not going to be stressful, but to think the positive and to see the glass half full and see the things that are working in your life smoothly and to focus on that. So changing focus, switching apart from what Gosia said, which is also amazing, dancing, movement, just even walking, getting out into the sunlight, fresh air, all that also helps. Thank you.
Thank you, Runa.
Yes, so just a quick point from me adding to all of that. I think it's important to take control of your mind and your body first thing in the morning when you wake up. Because if we can put the positive thoughts in our mind, and if we can do some slow, deep, gentle breathing to relax the body and visualize ourselves having a good day rather than a stressful day, then we're setting ourselves up properly for the day ahead. Otherwise, we don't take control then, we're out of control for the whole of the day. So it only takes a few minutes, but it does make a big difference.
Thank you, John.
Wow, what a great variety of tips, and I'm sure this has answered the question at length. We have Paul here.
I agree.
Do you want to add on something, Swami? Or?
No, not really. I think everybody said what we all want to say. Watch the mind, how you come to it.
Paul Wales asked, what is the one thing we can do to give us peace when we are up against stress as we are at the moment with COVID and the daily news?
Don't watch the news.
Don't watch the news.
There you go, Paul.
Don't watch the news. Yes. And have a nice attitude to your life. Do something kind. Think who you can phone. Think what you could do for somebody. How are you coming to your life? Watch your mind. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd add to that. If you see life as a spiritual gymnasium, everything that is happening has got benefit in it, and it's there to give us a chance to develop our inner strength, our inner power, our courage, determination, things like that. So look for the positives. There's always benefit in everything that's happening from a spiritual perspective.
Wonderful. Thank you, John. I want to...
Runa's wants to make a point.
Well, just to add that fear is a very base energy, and it is very disabling. And so we've really got to steer away from fear, because all these negative traits are like darkness, and darkness is simply absence of light. So when we become knowledgeable, when we look into things and study them and be more aware, that's us being in the light. And when we are in the light, there is no fear. So just to be mindful of that, not to fall into the trap of fear, but to stay in the light of awareness.
Wonderful. I just want to ask one more question, because we have more to give as many of our viewers the chance to ask. This pandemic scenario is causing fear and stress. How can we handle this on a daily basis? Thank you all for the great contributions, and thank you, Leonor, for joining us and asking.
So who would like to answer that one? Who would answer?
I think we've answered it quite often, really, haven't we?
I think we've answered it 3 times already.
I think we have, really.
How do you feel we can all take this message and energy on out into the world?
If you be it, you'll radiate it automatically.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, do your practice.
That's it. So yes.
Virginia, there was a question for you. How did you choose all the speakers? It would be quite useful for you to answer.
Yes. Yes.
Wait. She chose the best looking ones. That's all.
As well as that.
Introducing us to so many wonderful souls.
It's actually a great question. Because in my interview, I didn't share this bit. I did talk about my illness, and I did talk about going inside for a long period of time in my life, and this included finding tools that would help me connect to inner peace and joy. And basically, I started with what had helped me. So I chose the speakers that I felt had helped me and I resonated with, and I found them most inspiring. So basically, that's the answer, really. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we've gone over.
Okay, so we have more questions. I don't know. But it's 5 o'clock and in the UK, and I said we would do 2 slots. We can only have 6 speakers at a time, sadly. It's been wonderful to have you here, but let me see how many we have because we might have space. Yes, we have 3 people waiting. So I have to say goodbye. Arun, I know you have to go. Gosha, I know you have to go. Thank you.
I don't mind going if so the others can stay.
Okay, you goodbye, and I say goodbye, and then more people will join us. Okay, Om Shanti.
Thank you.
Goodbye. I say goodbye. Let me click here.
I'm easy.
One second. Where is and Gosha had to go. John has to go. And Gary, you want to stay? There is space for one.
No, I'm gonna have to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Gary. And and so we have, and Swami is going. So Jackie, hello, welcome.
Hello there. Can you hear me okay?
Yes,
Yes.
we can hear you perfectly, and thank you for
The comment on the thank you. The comment on the screen is from a friend of mine. There's a screen from Maria Alma Nevada.
This is for you.
She's one of my students. Yeah.
Yes, we can start with that maybe. Yes.
Oh no, you start with whatever. It's just that it was interesting that as you brought me on, it was one of my friends that was participating. So hello, Maria, from me. Yeah.
Oh, so let me introduce to. Hello, Patricia.
Hi, Patricia. Hi,
Hello. Hi, Patricia. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, and thank you for joining us. And Peggy. Hello, Peggy. Can you hear us?
I can almost hear you. Yes. Thank you.
Wonderful.
We've been having technical problems with Peggy, so now it's great that it's working.
Yes.
It was Peggy and Kelly, right?
Sorry?
Kelly?
Peggy.
Peggy.
Rubin.
Hello.
Wonderful.
I'm going to invite John.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just going to invite John McConnell back from the first session. He's still with us, so that's.
Yeah. I was listening in from the back scene. Yeah. I don't mind coming forward if you want me to.
No, wonderful. No, it's so welcome one and all.
So the way we've done it, we've structured it is we want to ask you all what message you would like to give our all of us on awakening to inner peace and joy. So we would like to give you 1-2 minutes each to share what you would like to say, and then we will give more time to the audience to ask their questions more directly. So Jackie, would you like to start?
Yeah, sure. I'd be happy to. Thank you so much for having all of us together. I was so excited about this being an international event and how many countries we've been able to touch. So, I love that. So, what I want to share with people about maintaining peace and joy. I love that you called this the Mindful Joy Summit, because without awareness, we can do nothing. So we can begin there. I guess I love to think about maintaining joy and peace in life through thinking about what vibratory pattern I'm creating in my life. What vibe am I living in? I have a Facebook group called the Vibe Tribe. And so I teach and think a lot about what vibratory pattern I'm creating with my beliefs, my emotions, my attitudes, my thoughts, the domain of my inner world, because that domain of my inner world is what kind of, if you will, links me with the vibratory matrix that life is. So if you are in a vibratory pattern of fear, angst, insecurity, worry, fear, that's what you will. That's where you link it up to the energy, the vibratory matrix of life. And then, oh gosh, all of a sudden you have all these people around you that are anxious and worried and and feeling scarcity, and you think that's the way life is, you know. And so I think a lot about that. You know, where am I connecting to the vibratory pattern, the matrix of life? And of course, because I want to be a contribution and because I want to live in peace and joy, I focus on creating a vibe that will attract people like you all. No surprise that we are all here together, because we have literally reached out in our vibe and from around the globe drawn each other into our own vibratory pattern. It's so cool. We can do this with technology now. We not a chance we would have met one another, despite the fact that we're on the same vibe. So and just to build on that thought, I think that the fact that we can do this is part of the evidence and the proof and the truth that evolution is accelerating. The more and more people understand that as within, so without, and that you will connect to the matrix of where you are living in your vibratory pattern, the more people understand that, and then we have technology to bring us all together, that is accelerating the vibration and accelerating evolution itself. We know that the universe itself is rapidly expanding faster than any time in history. I believe that's because consciousness is expanding more rapidly than any time in history. So all the upheaval that we're in the middle of is just a perfect outpicturing of the transformation that needs to occur. You know, thank you, God. Here we are. This is it. This is what we've been practicing our whole lives for. I don't want to go on too long. So those are kind of just some initial thoughts for us to dive in on.
That's very powerful. Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you for asking. I look forward to hearing from everybody. It's so exciting to be with people who share the same beliefs, the same thoughts, the same vibration from all around the planet. It's just so incredibly exciting. So thank you for putting this together. I'm so glad it's been so successful, and no doubt that it would have been.
We are delighted to be part of all of this and feel very, very fortunate. So you want to say
Yes,
something?
yes. I just want to remind the audience, keep typing your questions into the comments box as you're listening to this.
And we will read them at the end.
Yeah.
Yes. So Patricia, would you like to go next?
Sure, I would love to. And I agree with Jackie. It's wonderful to feel the energy and the vibration of everyone here. And I agree also with everything that has been said so far with the previous panelists and with Jackie as well. And what I wanted to say about how we can live in peace and joy, to be mindful of the thoughts and the words that you use, because words are thoughts articulated, and when we know that, we create our own reality with the thoughts and the feelings that we have. But the words that we speak on a daily basis, sometimes we don't mind them that much, and sometimes we just speak with people and say things that obviously become a reality, but because we're not aware of what we're saying. So really, let's be choosy with what we want, with the words we want to use, what kind of energy we want to evoke with that, and just and like I said, be mindful and aware. I play a game sometimes about going into the and find synonyms of really wonderful words, just to feel the energy, like, you know, like fabulous or fantastic, and then play and make sentences with that and see how that feels when I'm playing them for myself. So I think that is a helpful exercise if you ever want to do it. And another exercise I've been playing with some of our followers at my community is pretend you are the universe. If you were the universe, what would you be picking up from yourself? What are you, as a human being, what are you emitting? What are you sending? And as the universe, what are you picking up so that I can return to you what you're sending to me? And it's kind of fun to play this game because you realize immediately, like moment by moment, what are you, like I said, these thought patterns that you're, this vibrational, emotional pattern that you're constructing, and it's the same thing. So I would say, you know, that we're powerful beings and we don't really start up knowing that. And I think our mission in life is to create our lives and to be free and to be joyful. But we do that by rediscovering who we really are, our essence, that we are this universal energy and we're all one, like Gary Craig said in the beginning. So that's what I would say. And finally, set the intention for the day as you wake up. Also, Garcia said that in the previous panel, but I wanted to take it a little farther, and this is a teaching from Abraham Hicks. Set the intention for the day as soon as you wake up, and I'm gonna expect marvelous things happening today. I'm gonna expect joyful things and experiences and splendor and goodness. And then as you go through your day, set your segment intention. So this segment, let's say I'm gonna have breakfast now. Let's have a joyful breakfast, nutritious and appreciate my food, and I appreciate the company of my husband and my son or whatever. Intend that for it to be a wonderful moment before you actually step into the moment, and go through the day, segment intending your moments before you step into it. Set the intention to be joyful and fun, or precious, and as Esther Hicks or Abraham says, then you feel like so heard by the universe because you intended and then you lived the intention, and you feel like you are this powerful being and that you were being listened to, and therefore you realize how powerful you are. So that would be my conclusion. Thank you very much for inviting me here, and to the other panelists for their energy and the vibration that we all feel and pick up.
Yes. Wow, that was very practical and insightful. And let's go to Peggy. Peggy, can you hear us now? Peggy? Hello, Peggy.
Yes. Are you asking me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for all of this. It's been fascinating because I can hear so little. It's all, the sound is strange, but all I can see is the beautiful faces. And it's such a joy to do that. So thank you for the opportunity. I'm going to be borrowing from other traditions in what I want to say. And if somebody else has already said it, please forgive me. But I'm going to go with what they tell me is in the Upanishads, which is from joy all beings have come. In joy all beings are sustained. To joy all beings return. I want to go for just a moment with the sustain piece. The more we practice joy, and another very great teacher says it's not a matter of faith, it's a matter of practice. And the more we practice joy, the more we are sustained, our resilience is built, our health is sustained. And I believe the more we practice, as others have said, the more other people are sustained by it as well. So that's really the thing I live by, is that we come from joy, we are held in joy, we return to joy. And the more we practice joy, the more sustaining power we give to ourselves and our friends and our world. And the third thing I'm going to borrow is a wonderful song called Jeremiah, and it's joy to the world, joy to the fishes in the deep blue sea, and joy to you and me. Thank you very much. Thanks for every piece of wisdom and beauty that has been disseminated through adding to the world. What a treat, what a treat. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Take care of yourselves and practice the presence of joy. Thanks.
Wow. It's been really, really wonderful to be all together. You just want to say something?
No, just say, John, would you also like to? I know you spoke in the last session, but it'd be useful to hear again, I think.
Yes, well, I could add to what I said at the last time, really. And I love the fact we've all got this common understanding of things, and we're all wanting to raise our vibrations and be in a state of peace and love. And in a way, how I see it, or is that, you know, we've forgotten who we are, and we're now returning, or beginning to wake up and return to our original state of peace and love and joy, based on the fact that we're spiritual beings, you know, living in or experiencing this physical world. And I mean, what I find quite helpful is to understand some of the causes of my peacelessness. And there are 4 or 5 things which really can spoil all the joy and all the love. And one of them is attachment. You know, if I'm attached to my body or my ideas or whatever, it's going to be killer. So really, we need to learn to be detached. Again, if I'm very focused on my own needs and I'm full of ego, then again, that's going to cause problems. So ego really is false identity based on fear. And once we release that, then we can go to the true identity of joy and love, which people have been talking about. And then there are other factors which can influence us, you know, like greed and all the different pressures which the world puts on us through consumerism, advertising, and things like that, which take us away from the peace and the love. So self-awareness and self-knowledge, you know, is the foundation. And once we can tune into that and reconnect with that peace and love, which is inside naturally, just waiting to come out, once we've cleared the rubbish out of the way, then the world is going to be a very different place. And at the moment, there's a lot of wounded souls around who are carrying lots of burdens, you know, lots of regrets, lots of unhappiness, lots of pain from the past. And it's very important to find ways to let go of all of that and rise above and reconnect, you know, with the divine and fly, as it were, fly out of it all that stuff is down.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
Thank you. We have a question
Yes, from
for
Cheryl. Yes, for Jackie.
Oh, yes. Hi, Cheryl. Thank you. The Facebook page is called The Vibe, V-I-B-E, Tribe. And if you search The Vibe Tribe on Facebook, you're going to find a lot of them. So you'll have to find the one that has my glorious face smiling at you when you search through which Vibe Tribe. But you know, it's all about it's a group about consciousness and how do we raise consciousness on the planet. And so yeah, that's the name of the group.
Thank you, Jackie. And Cheryl also says that she liked what John said about fear being the ego. Yes. Well, any more questions? This is your opportunity, all of you who are watching, to ask, comment directly with all of us, really. We'd love to hear from you.
Virginia, do you mind if I just add a little bit to what I said? So I loved, Patricia, how practical your tips were. And I do, a lot of my teaching is about being practical, like how do you do this? So one of the things that I want to leave people with is the whole notion of how do you raise your vibe? You know, John, you said about the woundedness, and I agree with you. I think one of the ways, though, that our soul is seeking emergence is to really think about not so much where we've come from, but how are we being called forth in this new evolution, if you will, of the human soul and the human spirit. So I teach a very simple method. It's actually research-based, but I call it the 3 C's, about your thinking and your emotions. Science is proving now that we actually can change our thinking, and we can change our emotional patterns, our neural pathways. So I teach this very simple thing. I call it the 3 C's. Catch it, challenge it, and change it. It begins with awareness. You have to see that thought. Oh, God, there it is again, right? Oh, my God, I've been thinking that since I was 12 years old. Can't you do any better than that? So the challenge it section, first is awareness, catch it. Second is challenge it, is just talking back to it from your higher mind. Is that the best you can do? What's that thought going to create? Is that the future you want to live into? There's more to you than that. You know, just debunking your thinking. Becomes a little crazy making, yes. But it's better than going down that rabbit hole, that spiral in consciousness. And then the third is change it to the highest essence, the truth of who you are. I can let go of fear. Fear doesn't serve me. Fear is from the ego. I can choose peace instead of this. That's been a very powerful thought for me since we've been going through a lot, in the U.S. With the violence and the uprising, and of course all of us going through the pandemic, of just, I can choose peace. I can choose joy instead of this. And as you pray, maybe it sounds, oh, that's all fluff, 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 fluff. At the beginning, it is, quite honestly. You have to change. You have to, catch it, challenge, and change it about every 30 seconds in the beginning. But then over time, it gets easier, and your consciousness changes, and you become different, and you don't even remember that previous experience that you had. So it really is about self-management, constantly observing, challenging, and choosing the highest and best of your God self on earth.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's very empowering. It brings the power back to us.
Here, right? Yeah.
Yes, that's what's going on outside. We can do that. Fantastic.
To challenge it. Yeah. So I say, well, everybody has, I guarantee you everyone will have circumstances. Whether or not you have problems is up to you.
So Maria, she's just she's written it for everybody. Catch it, challenge it, change it. So thank you, Maria, for doing that.
Good reminder.
Yeah, we've got a message from Emerald. God bless everyone involved in this beautiful summit. My heart feels so lovely just listening to you.
Thank
you, Emerald. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great to hear from you.
I just read a comment from Elena Gutierrez. She's my friend. So Elena, thank you for your comment. She just
yes, you're amazing. Hello, Elena.
Thanks to Elena. I love you very much.
I think there's a question from Veronica. Is it this
Renata?
session? Renata says,
Will
is
be
this
available
session will be available on Facebook? I joined it when it was lasting ready for 40 minutes. Yes, it will be.
Yes, Facebook and YouTube. So don't worry.
Yeah.
And we are giving a surprise at the end, so don't go.
Yeah, so you stay. Saw a question from Veronica. Are there any other practical tools to help us navigate during these uncertain times and difficult emotions? So,
meditation.
What did you say?
Patricia, can you say that again?
Meditation.
Meditation.
That would be the first tool. And then the other tool, perhaps you might like to use the one I mentioned, the segment intending. Just intend your days before you step into your next segment in the day to be peaceful and joyful, or if you're feeling afraid or fearful because of these turmoil times, just to feel a little peace in your heart. And if you continue to do that in time, you will feel peaceful most of the time, if not all the time. So it's just be aware of what your intentions are and just go through with them. And if there's a thought that comes up that makes you feel, again, fear or afraid or worried, don't fight it. Just gently let it go. Because if you resist, it will persist. So just gently say, well, I don't choose your thought, something better. I want to choose to think something that makes me feel more at ease and hopeful and optimistic.
Well, thank you.
I would also add to that, do something every day, something small every day for your heart, your body, your mind, and your spirit. So something for your heart would be social connection, a hug if you're not quarantined by yourself. Hopefully you're not. So something for your heart, really connecting at a heart level with someone, or spiritual connection in prayer. Your mind, read something stimulating, read something spiritual and uplifting. Your body, move your body every single day. Like when people are talking about the difficult emotions that we're in, part of the difficult emotions is that if we're quarantined, we're not moving around as much. Our bodies the energy field of our body gets very constricted So even going for a walk, being out in nature, do something for your body every day, and then your spirit, as Patricia said, and all of us can affirm, meditation, prayer, writing affirmations, writing your prayers, but recognize that, you know, you have say, maybe not over what's happening around us, but you are in charge of what's happening within you. Only you.
Mm-hmm.
And your circumstances and your experience are not the same thing.
Mm-hmm. That's so important. That's the essence of the...
It is the essence of this, right? Yeah.
Inside. Yes. Wonderful. Wow, we are coming towards the end. We will leave the surprise. We will say the surprise in a minute. Oh, I put one more comment here. Leonor, hello. My grandson keeps asking why God allows the virus to take lives. I find it hard to give an answer to comfort his heart.
Oh. How old is the grandson, Leonor? You could type the age. But anyway, does anyone want to go have a...
Whoops.
Leonor? Yeah, John, would you like to say something?
Yes, I've just disconnected myself here. Basically, can you see me or not?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
And he's 5.
My computer
he's 5 years old. He's 5 years old.
Okay, basically, God is the essence of love, and he does not allow, he cannot intervene in what we're creating on this earth in a direct way. He's there to love us and support us and to help us to cope with all the things that we've created. And the distress which we see in the world at the moment is really coming from, as a result or a build-up of all our actions, both individually and collectively, over a long period of time, like the way we treat animals, the way we've abused the environment, etc. And God wants us to change all of that, but he respects us and gives us the opportunity to realize these things for ourselves and make changes which are necessary to create a better world. So God's on our side, and he can't intervene directly because he would then be undermining our free will. Don't know if that makes sense. You still there?
Yeah. Yes, we can see and hear you clearly.
All right. Okay. So that would be. I mean, that might sound a bit complicated for a child, but if we think about it and then digest it and come up with our own ideas based on that.
Yeah. She says, thanks so much. So thank you, John. So we are coming to the end now. I want to say thank you again all for joining us and for making this possible and creating this amazing energy. I think Swami is still here.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yes, my darling. Yes. I enjoyed listening to all of that.
Is there anything you'd like to add?
No, I liked what you said. And it is our thoughts and minds that are creating all this. And it is meditation that calms us. And it is the inner peace and joy. And Babaji used to say that the joy, the great rejoicement, all the plants and the trees are bowing to God. And this great rejoicement arises within us. And the deeper we go into ourselves, that column of light, we go into the inner peace and joy, the great rejoicement of the Supreme. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Now it's time to announce the surprise, as we've been promising for a while. And this is due to popular demand. People have asked, people have said we haven't had enough time to watch the presentations. Some people have only just joined. So we have decided to extend to give you 48 extra hours. So you can watch and enjoy and learn and connect to inner peace and joy with all the wisdom and tools that our speakers share. So this was our surprise.
And it starts from 9 p.m. UK time tonight. Okay, so
in about 3 hours from now, you will receive an email with the link, and please pass it on to your friends and family, because we want to spread this message all over the world. We've already reached 62 countries.
That's right. That's right.
Wow. That's exciting.
Marvelous. Marvelous.
And just to be clear, it's all the talks for an extra 2 days, 48 hours from 9 p.m. UK time.
That's great.
So no excuses if you've missed your favorite talks. You can watch them again.
Now is your chance.
Thank you.
Yes, so I'd like to say goodbye. We'll just give a few announcements, but I'd like to say goodbye to the speakers, and we'll just carry on talking. You can stay if you want. I'll just say thank you, thank you, thank you. It's been great.
And thank you all.
Yes.
Bye-bye, darling. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Peggy. Bye-bye.
Yes, so we're saying, don't go, our audience, please don't go. We do want to say, reminder that if you want to buy the premium pack, you can also do that. And what I wanted to say is that it includes 8 extra bonuses, as well as having all the sessions with all the videos, downloadable audios. You also have 8 bonuses. I just want to talk about what the pack includes, because it's great value, I think. You have 1 live webinar with Gary Craig, and you can ask one-to-one questions, like in a private group. You have a Kriya Yoga workshop with Soumyalenanda Paramahansa, and that includes 4 sessions with her, and you will learn the Kriya Yoga meditation included in this package, which is very, very powerful tool. You will also have a mindfulness workshop with Michael Carroll, and you have expansion game masterclass with Gosha Gorna, which is a very, very powerful tool. We both of us have experienced it, and it really helps you go past your fears, and it really takes you to the next level of expansion. So that 4 bonuses plus other 4, which includes the Power of Breath class with Paul Wales, which he has recorded especially for this. And it includes Boost Your Health with Simple Energy Exercises and Your Happy Hormones Masterclass with Monse Kamala, and Feminine Leadership Workshop with Sonia Herrero, and 50% off from a 4-week mindfulness course with John Unas. All of that is included. It's only $69. So it's, and all of these bonuses by themselves are just over $799. So that's the gift for you. And
we got a question from Cheryl. Are all sessions available? Yes, all of them.
All of them.
But just for 48 hours.
Yes, so choose what you like. Silvina, did we read Silvina? Thank you. Hello, Sil. An amazing journey and congratulations. I also want to use the opportunity to say hello to Mendoza. I know lots of my friends, ex-teachers, ex-colleagues are there. Hello, Marcela Mejeboski. It's been great seeing you again after such a long time, Virginia. It's wonderful to see you, Marcela. I'm so delighted and pleased to know we are connecting again in this way. I left Argentina 18 years ago. I haven't seen any of you in all this time, and connecting through this summit has been for me amazing, beautiful. Thank you for joining, and thank you for being in here with your feedback. Fantastic. How long is the premium available, please? So the video sessions you can access for 2 years, unlimited for 2 years, and you can download the audios on MP3, and you'll be able to access the audios a lifetime. So Yes, and the workshops will be announced. We have dates throughout July when the workshops will take place. So yes, please ask any questions. Now is the time to ask. We are happy to answer anything.
That's right. I think we'll be keeping the website going for about a week or so after all the videos close. So so you'll get an opportunity to buy the package, even though the videos won't be available.
Yeah, and also the other thing we need to say is that the price does go up after the 48 hours. It will go up from $69 to $79. So if you're considering buying it, it's a good thing to do it ASAP.
Yeah,
really.
yeah, yeah. So this is.
And can I say
go on,
something
please.
more important? For those of you who can afford it, I know, for example, in Argentina, it's a different story, but you'll be contributing to cover the costs of making this event, and also making it possible to making more of these events available. So it's contribution to expansion, to more peace, to more joy everywhere.
So hopefully this is the first of many such projects. So
hello, Samia. We are delighted to see you from Mendoza. Wonderful, bro. So nice to see you all. It's been for me amazing to connect with you all, as I said. Can you please share the link here? Yes, I actually had it prepared. Thank you for asking. mindfuljoysummit.com. If you go there, you can register and do register, and you will get an email and it will tell you what you have to do. Yes. Any other questions, comments? I believe here. Can you please put the link? We've done that. I would be happy to contribute if there could be another summit.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Yes, thank you. We will. I mean, we've been so touched and so inspired after doing this that yes, we would love to do another one.
Yes, we wanted the message of peace and joy to spread around the world, and we've just been blown away. We were saying in the first session that it's that reaching 62 countries is just blown us away, really. So thank you very much indeed. We'll be ending the broadcast soon, so really heartfelt thanks to everybody. And this is the week that peace and joy got a chance to speak. And please find that peace and joy in yourselves for your lives. It's inside of you. Tap into it and send it around to everyone you're with, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. So stay safe and stay in peace. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you for joining.